end of this video, hopefully you have a better understanding of the way the physics works in the golf swing, and you'll be able to walk out of here with a shallow club shaft into the ball. In order to understand how to shallow the shaft, we need to understand a little bit of physics in the golf swing. If you're not shallowing the shaft in the downswing, it means your backswing needs work. It is imperative that your setup, takeaway, backswing are correct in order to work with gravity on the way back down and through the ball. When we take the club away, the club head's heavy and it wants to kind of like drag down in between here. And if I do that, get the club into what we call a laid off position here, a flat position on the backswing. If I go up to the top of my swing, it's going to return in a more vertical position, which is going to come over, trap the ball, and usually leads to hooks, pulls, hooks and slices way left. If you look at most of the best players in the world, the best swingers of the golf club, at the top of their backswing, the club head is moving to the right in transition. A few years ago, they used to call this a loop in the golf swing, but now we use the term transition. If we're taking the club back flat, at the top of our swing, it's going to loop and shallow. And you can feel this yourself. If you just hold the club lightly, take it back flat and turn, it comes over steep. However, if you take the club back steep and then turn, look what happens to the club shaft. It wants to flatten automatically. So in order to get there, we need to make sure a couple of things are correct. In our takeaway, the club is just outside the hands. Halfway up our swing, we want to make sure the club shaft is pointing between our toes and the ball. If you make sure of those things and hold those positions, at the top of your swing, you'll see it work a little bit this way, flatter, as you start transitioning. And what's going to happen after the top of your swing, you transition down, the club is going to shallow. So when we get to halfway down, the club is actually pointing outside the ball now, not inside, outside. So the butt of the club will work outside. And as we turn around, then we get to this desired position where the club head is on or inside the hand line, ready for delivery. If you go back and watch my last video on the backswing, this will make a lot more sense to you. I showed you a drill where you place it down the side of the bottom of the club shaft, and in the backswing, make sure that we're running that down our leg. So in our backswing, it's pointing in between our toes and the ball. And what we want to do is in transition, then we can see where the butt of the club's pointing. Bringing it down to here, we can see it pointing down where we want to go, and then we're bringing it back to our hip at impact. Be prepared when you start shallowing the club to start hitting draws a little bit easier, maybe a few pushes, but you'll start hitting the ball, your miss hit will be skinny. So say goodbye to those chunks, say goodbye to those slices. You're going to be putting a positive impact on the ball. This is such a complicated topic, but luckily I have two drills that worked really well for me, working on my transition, backswing, and making sure I'm shallowing the club, that hopefully can work for you too. Okay, this first drill is set up. What I have is one club here down my feet line, another club that is a club head inside of that. It's basically off the ball of my foot or my pinky toe running back, and then an alignment stick. And this is my drill to make sure I'm shallowing the club. So if I set up to my ball, take my stance, the goal of this drill is to, on the backswing, be outside of this stick. Whoops, see how I nicked it then? So I need to be a little bit more outside. And then on the downswing, I want to make sure my club is inside this stick on the way back down. So if I make another rehearsal there, It should look something like that. So I'm just feeling this out, feeling it, picking it up down this way to the top of my swing, and on the way down it's inside the stick. And because this is effectively making lag, it's going to actually be short of the stick. So if I'm casting it or coming over the top, I will hit it. But because I'm shallowing and creating lag, I'll be working inside the stick. All I have to do then is make sure I turn left. Now, there are two potential issues with shallowing the club. One is the shank, two is the top. If we start shallowing the club and we're used to coming down really steep, usually when you come down steep, you're standing up into the ball. And if you stand up into the ball with a shallow club, the hosel is going to come right into the ball there. So it'll look something like this. And your hosel is going to hit that ball and it's going to go way right. Or you're going to flip it and top the ball. So the second drill I've got here for you today will hopefully eliminate that chance. The second drill I have for you is a chair drill. Now you can use a chair. I've got an old sand bucket here, luckily. Or you can use your golf bag, just with maybe a driver sticking out. And what you want to do is when you address the ball, just have that chair resting on your butt, on your left hip. And when you make your golf swing, you want to make sure that you're keeping that pressure on the chair and onto your left hip as you turn around. What that's going to do is it's going to make sure that your spine angle stays the same, and it's going to give you way more room on the left hand side of your swing. So if you're prone to early extension or shanking the ball and coming out like this, I've left the chair, there's a gap there now. Okay, so I want to make sure my butt is on the chair. It feels super weird when you first start doing it. However, this drill really fixed this for me. So I really hope that those secrets help you get some awesome shots, connect with the ball, and start swinging it like a pro. I'm going to do these drills more often.